Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a White Forest Azamina deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck now that we finally have the Azamina cards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like your name, description, every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Awalt. Awalt is definitely a 3F in the build because this card is a crazy powerful deck that you can send a spell or trap card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Then add a white forest monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is such a powerful effect to instantly get this card out on your side of the field, especially since we're playing the toy engine in this deck. This card also has the ability that during your opponent's turn, if a light spellcaster tuner is special summoned to your field, while this card's in the graveyard, you can add this card to your hand, which is a really cool ability. We then played 3 copies of Azteller. Azteller is really good as a 3F in the build because this card is ability you can send a spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon a light spellcaster tuner from your deck, instantly getting the exact card you want on your side of the field to go in for your synchro plays. And if a spell or trap card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, instantly get this card back on your side of the field. We then played 2 copies of Sylvie. Sylvie is really good as an extender in the deck. Since this card is normal or special summon, you can actually add a white forest spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And if this card's in the graveyard, quick effect, you can target a white forest synchro monster you control or in the grave, return it back to the extract, and if you do, special summon this card but negate its effects, which is a great effect just to extend your plays. We then played 2 copies of Rusia. Rusia is really good as a 2F in the deck and just such a powerful card overall because if you control a white forest monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and also you can send a spell or trap card from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw a card, which is a really cool effect to instantly dig into the deck. We then played 3 copies of Diabellstar, the Black Witch. Diabellstar is definitely a 3F in the build because this card helps out so much to get your copy of Deception, and this card is just an amazing extender to be able to use in the deck to help you go in for your synchro plays, and it's an amazing card to help you get to your copy of Deception because it's so easy to be able to get to using this card. We then played 2 copies of Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier is great for our toy engine. I really like 2 copies in the build, as this card has the effect that you can set this card from your hand to your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell, and it also has the ability if this set card in your spell and trap card zone is sent to the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card, and if it's normal or special summon, you can add a toy box from your deck to your hand, or if you control toy box already, you can add a level 4 light monster instead, which is great to be able to get to the exact card you need. We then play a single copy of Toy Tank. Toy Tank is great as a 1F in the build as well, but you really need a single copy in this deck. This card has the ability, just like your copy of Toy Soldier, that you can set this card in your hand as a spell card to your spell and trap card zone. And if this set card in your spell and trap card zone is sent to the grave, you can special summon this card, and also you can tribute this monster and then special summon a level 6 or lower monster from your hand. Or if you control a copy of Toy Box, you can special summon a level 6 or lower monster from the graveyard instead, helping you bring back one of your monsters from the grave. These cards work really well with your different white forest monsters to be able to pay costs, so you can just bring them back to your side of the field, which is amazing to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is really good to be able to play in the deck, to be able to work with your copy of Azteller, because this card can actually be summoned directly from your deck to your side of the field. To be able to use this card as a tuner to go in for some synchro plays, plus this card is really good because it is a hand trap. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good as a 1F in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of the Hallowed Azamina. This card is absolutely broken in how we summon out our Azamina fusion monsters. This card lets us reveal an Azamina fusion monster in your extract, and for every 4 levels it has, round down, send a Sinful Spools card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if face down, reveal it. Then special summon the revealed monster, and it is treated as a fusion summon, which is an amazing ability to instantly be able to send your copy of Deception to the graveyard so you can summon out your different Azamina fusion monsters to your side of the field. And since they're all level 6 that we play in the deck, you only have to be able to send your copy of Deception to the graveyard to be able to use this card. And if this card's in the graveyard, you can target an Azamina monster you control or in your grave, shuffle in the deck, and if you do, add this card back to your hand so you can use your Azamina cards over and over again with this card. We then play a single copy of Tales of the White Forest. Tales of the White Forest is great in the deck because if you control an illusion or a spellcaster monster, you can add a White Forest monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to use, and your other White Forest cards and this card also share a common effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Beware the White Forest. This card is great in the build as 1-of because if you control a level 6 or higher illusion or spellcaster monster, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. And play a single copy of Scourge of the White Forest. This card is great as a 1-of in the build and just helps out a lot overall because it lets you treat a synchro monster and then target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then if you tributed a White Forest synchro monster to activate this effect, you can actually special summon an illusion monster from your graveyard, which is a great ability to instantly bring back one of your monsters to your side of the field. We then see a copy of the Azamina Quick Play spell. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck, and I really like this card overall in the build, as during the main phase you can also reveal an Azamina fusion monster in your egg shack, and for every 4 levels it has, round down, send a Sinful Spools card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if it's face down, you reveal it. Then special summon the revealed monster, and it's treated as a fusion summon, and during your main phase, you can actually banish this card from the graveyard to target an Azamina monster in your grave and special summon it, which is an amazing ability. Plus, I absolutely love the artwork of this card. We then play 2 copies of Deception. Deception is definitely a 2-of, and actually why we play Diabellstar in this deck now, because Diabellstar can instantly get this card because it is a Sinful Spools card. This card lets you tribute a monster from your hand or field to add an Azamina card from your deck to your hand, meaning you can instantly get your copy of the Hollowed Azamina, which is great. This card is really good to instantly get your copy of your Azamina cards, and if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard and you control an Azamina monster, you can actually make your opponent lose 1,500 life points. If you gain 1,500 life points, and during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there from the spell and trap card zone this turn while face up, you can set it back to your side of the field so you can use it all over again, because basically it makes this your copy of Hollowed Azamina. It's free to be able to activate, and it's amazing that you can use this card to be able to summon out your Azamina cards, because you can use this card with your copy of Diabellstar to get to the Hollowed Azamina or your Azamina Quick Play spell to summon out the Azamina monsters, then use this card to pay the cost, and then reset it back to your side of the field, which is awesome. We then play 3 copies of Toy Box. Toy Box is great in this deck to help you get to your toy monsters so you can use them to pay cost. This card is really good overall in the deck, as this card has a really cool ability. At once per turn, when your opponent declares an attack, you can actually send a face down card you control to the graveyard and destroy that opponent's monster, and once per turn you can activate one of these effects from your hand deck or face in the monster zone. In your graveyard, you can choose up to 2 of your toy monsters with different original names and set them to your side of the field as spells, which is a great effect to instantly set them to your side of the field, or you can destroy up to 2 cards in your spell and trap card zone, making your toy monsters go off. We then also play 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More is great to basically just turn your opponent's field off, and this card is really good because you want to play more spells in this deck and not as many hand traps, so you can actually pay cost for your different White Forest cards. So this card is really good overall in the deck to basically turn your opponent's field off, make an absolutely unbreakable board in this deck, and then go in for game on the follow-up. We then play 3 copies of Wanted. Wanted is great because it searches out your copy of your Diabellstar and lets you add a copy of Diabellstar from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Also during the main phase, you can banish a card in the graveyard, target a Sinful Spools spell or trap that's banished or in your graveyard, and place it on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card, meaning you can use this card with your copy of Deception. So that's it for your spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Angel Statue. Angel Statue is really good to work with our copy of Still Hat Rabbit because this card is a negate for special summons, plus your copy of Still Hat Rabbit can set it to your side of the field. We play a single copy of Azamina Determination. This card is really cool as a 1-of in the deck and lets you reveal an Azamina fusion monster in your extract, and for every 4 levels it has round down, shuffle a Sinful Souls card from your graveyard and or banishment back in the deck. Then you get to special summon the revealed monster and is treated as a fusion summon. You can also banish a card in the graveyard and then target a Sinful Souls spell trap in your graveyard and set it, but it cannot be activated this turn, which is a really cool ability to help you grab the exact card you need. We play a single copy of Woes. Woes is really good as a 1-of in the build to set to your side of the field. Just let you special summon a White Forest monster from your hand or deck, and then when its effect resolves, you synchro summon a White Forest synchro monster, which is a really cool effect. We play a single copy of Reframing. Reframing is very easy to set to your side of the field because it's an awesome counter trap that we can easily use with our Visa Extract Synchro monster. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of, and just really awesome because this card is a counter trap. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is a great hand trap just to stop your opponent's monster effects, and just an overall awesome card you'll set to your side of the field to lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Azamina Severa. This card is absolutely broken and a walking negate. This card is super easy to summon with a Hollowed Azamina or any of your Azamina cards that can summon out one of the fusion monsters. But this card is one of the cards you want to summon out as quickly as possible because any battle damage your Azamina monsters except this card inflicts to your opponent is double. And when your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you contribute this card to negate the activation, and this card is destroyed by battle by card effect. You can add a Sinful Souls trap from your deck to your hand. This card is absolutely broken because it is a walking negate, and it's amazing to basically just use this card to make sure you're not going to walk into cards like Nibiru, and it's so easy to summon in this build. With my single copy of Soul. Soul is actually my favorite of all the Azamina cards, and definitely comment down below which one is your favorite, because all of them have insane, awesome artworks. This card is really, if this card is fusion, you can actually target a card on the field and send it to the graveyard, which is an insane ability to be able to use with your quick play spell, so you can use it during your opponent's turn to use it as a disruption. And during the standby phase, you can actually target an Azamina or a Sinful Souls card in the graveyard and add it back to your hand, which is a really cool effect just in case your copy of Severa gets in the graveyard. With my single copy of Dibeal, this card is really good as a 1-of in the deck. The Queen of the White Forest is so cool because if this card is synchro summoned using a Tuner synchro monster, you can actually target a spell or trap card in the graveyard and add it back to your hand. Also, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can actually send a spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 or lower Tuner synchro monster from your extract, graveyard, or banishment, which is a great effect to summon out your copy of Zapper Shrimp. We then play a single copy of Sinister Soul. Sinister Soul is so powerful in this deck. This card is a Tuner synchro monster, and if this card is special summon, you can send a spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to add a White Forest or a light spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand, meaning we can use this card to instantly search out our copy of Effect Failure, so we can search out a hand trap, which is really, really cool. We then play a single copy of Severa. Severa is really good in this deck as a 1-of, but you only need a single copy of each of the White Forest synchro monsters. If this card is special summon, you can actually change all face-up monsters that your opponent controls to face-down defense, basically being a walking Book of Eclipse. And also, Illusion and Spellcaster synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack, and also, if they attack a defensive monster, inflict double piercing damage to your opponent, which is crazy powerful. We made a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is very easy to summon in this deck using your copy of Zapper Shrimp, plus your copy of your Queen, and this card is really good because it is a spot removing card, because when it's summoned out to your side of the field, you get to banish card off the field. Use light monsters to make this. Then synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. If you use dark, monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle. We can play a single copy of the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign. This card is great to be able to summon out to your side of the field because it helps you banish cards, and also gets absolutely massive on your side of the field because it gains 100 attack and defense for each monster that's banished, or every card that's banished, and monster your opponent control lose 100 attack and defense. And if this card would be destroyed, you can banish card from the grave instead. And if this card, or if a card becomes banished, it also helps you banish card from both your opponent's field and graveyard, which is a really cool ability. My single copy of the Visa Synchro monster. Really, this card is a 1 one of in the build because it's so easy to summon out to your side of the field because this requires a light tuner plus light monsters, meaning you can use more than one light tuner to make this card. And this card's name becomes Visa Starfrost while on the field. And this card is great because if this card is synchro summon, you can add your copy of Reframing from your deck to your hand, so you get a counter trap, basically making this card a walking negate. Plus this card is a tuner synchro monster, which will help us go into more plays. Let's do a copy of Muddy Mud Dragon. Muddy Mud Dragon is really good to help us step into our copy of Albion and in turn our copy of Dragoon, which is crazy to be able to step into a copy of Dragoon in this deck. This card is basically a walking fusion substitute monster and a polymerization all in one synchro monster. You can play a single copy of Zapper Shrimp. Zapper Shrimp is summonable off our copy of Queen, and this card lets us quick synchro summon, which is really cool. And if this card is special summon, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target a spell, trap your opponent controls, and destroy it. And also, once per chain during your opponent's main phase, quick effect immediately select resolves, synchro summon using this card you control, and it is a tuner, meaning we use this card to step into the exact monster we need. Let's do a copy of Albion. Albion is great in the deck to be able to step into our copy of Dragoon, because it's so easy to be able to do, because all you do is summon out your copy of Muddy Mud Dragon, use this card as the Fallen of Albaz plus any other light monster to make your copy of your Albion, then you use your copy of Albion to manage itself, plus the Muddy Mud Dragon, which counts as a fusion substitute monster, to be able to step into your copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is a walking negate for the deck. For the Link monsters, we do play a single copy of Still Hat Rabbit. Still Hat Rabbit is great in the deck as a one to be able to set your copy of your Angel statue to your side of the field. Plus, when you activate Angel statue, it'll pop a spell or trap. We'll play a single copy of SP Little Knight and a single copy of IP. IP and SP are just really good overall in the deck because your copy of IP will step into SP, and SP is a double interruption. So these cards are really good in the deck overall to basically just use against your opponent. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is absolutely broken, and I absolutely love this deck. If you guys have never played a White Forest Azamina deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially now that we finally have the Azamina cards, because they're so cool to be able to play, and the artwork is phenomenal. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of Notification Squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.